So we reach chapter 6th, which is the patience chapter on patience, and we are now dealing with verse 41. Verse 41. If I become angry with the wielder, although I am actually harmed by his stick, then since he too is secondary, being in turn incited by hatred, I should be angry with his hatred instead. So actually, if I become angry with the wielder, although I am actually harmed by his stick, actually there is no for the wielder, the wielder with a stick in his hand, then inflicted harm or cause harm by hitting you. So it is pointless to get angry with the wielder. It is pointless to get angry with the wielder, because actually it is the stick which causes the pain. Now, if somebody may argue, actually one should get angry with the wielder because it is the wielder who hits you. Then if one has to say like this, then then if that is the case, then we should also get angry towards the to get angry to the hatred, to get angry to the hatred, because it is the hatred, or it is the hatred which which then motivated out of hatred, then that person hits you or inflicts harm to you. So actually the primary hatred is the primary cause for which causing the pain. So here, hatred becomes the primary cause for causing the pain, and primary cause. So here, the hatred becomes the the main cause, the primary cause. For we should, instead of getting hatred to the someone who caused the real harm, we should instead to get hatred we should get anger towards the hatred, because it is the hatred motivated out of someone's hatred that you receive the pain. So like stick, by using the stick one gets pain, one should not get angry with the wielder. So here the stick also becomes the primary cause, because it is the stick which involves in really involves in receiving the pain. So that means the wielder with his hand, with the stick in his hand, then hit you. And why the wielder hit you with a stick? Because just as the stick, because one may say, we should get angry towards the wielder, because we cannot get angry towards the stick, because stick has no motivation, no intention to produce the pain, to cause you the pain. So if you say, we should get rather getting angry towards the wielder, if we say we should get angry towards the stick, stick. So then, for the stick, it has no intention. Stick has no intention to cause the pain. Stick has no motivation to bring a pain. So if that is the case, then we can also say, the person himself has no motivation. The person himself is completely under the control, completely under the domination, completely under the power of the hatred. And it is this very hatred which causes the pain. So we should rather get angry towards the hatred rather than the person himself, because the person himself is under the control of the afflictions, so no power. So just as the wielder, the stick has no motivation to produce pain. It is the, if we say stick has no motivation, then we can also say, the person himself or herself, because nobody is, trying to bring the pain out of joyful experience, out of joyful feeling. People gets upset. That's why we receive pain. So that means, in good motivation and in joyful, feeling, the person has no intention to, cause pain. So that means the person once become dominated, once powered by the anger or hatred, then cause you pain. So the person has no control over the person has no control of his own or her own. It is what makes him, what makes the person. So it is the anger or hatred which gives the person opportunity to get angry towards the others. So like this. So this is the meaning. If I become angry with the wielder, although I am actually harmed by his stick, then since he too is secondary, being in turn incited by hatred, I should be angry with his hatred instead. Like in the restaurant. For example, we may enjoy food in a restaurant or hotel. Then we, when the food is very delicious, then we eat a whole lot of food, and then next time, then next day we get sick. Then what we try to do is, we complain about the food, food, that this food causes me, sick. Actually, who is it? Who ate that food? It is the person. If a person, eat a moderate amount, then there is no way to get sick or get ill. That person eats, whole lot of food and then gets sick. And then what happens is, the immediate, the blame goes to the food, the restaurant, the owner of the restaurant maybe. Yeah, this food really makes me sick. So our, normally, our way of seeing the things is such that we tend to target only one cause in any cause. So normally this is not only happening in one situation. In many of the situations, when something goes wrong, we immediately begin to target, to pinpoint. This is the exact cause. Actually, we can say there are many causes. Actually, we can say there are primary causes, there are secondary causes. In the case of the sprout, we can say the sprout to yield into a beautiful tree or flower. The sprout becomes the primary cause, and then all these other the sunlight, the temperature, the balanced the moderate temperature, and then the soil, and all these becomes the secondary, contributing factors, contributing conditions. So although we do have these conditions, primary conditions and contributing conditions, but then we don't see that in many of the So these are, the sprout, like sunlight. So these are external things. So now we are dealing with the internal world, internal emotions. So when things go something wrong, then we try to pinpoint one cause, and then try to, blame, and then try to blame, or we try to see only one cause, and then try to blame. So this is the exact cause. This is the only cause. And then what happens is, the more we try, the more. So this is my own understanding. The more we try to, the more we try to, perceive something as a cause, single cause, the more we have stronger, sense of seeing something as a single cause. Then what happens is, the greater is that we have a danger of developing the hatred. So, for example, if we know the involvement of many conditions and if many factors giving rise to particular pleasant or unpleasant situation, then naturally our kind of way of seeing is already equally scattered to all these conditions. We cannot say, oh, this also involved, oh, that cause also involved, oh, whole lot of things. So like, this flower, we cannot say only one petal of flower make this beautiful or attractive. It's very simple, if we take out, one petals one by one, we cannot, then there is nothing, the so-called, concept attractive left. So all these conditions make it, attractive. So so here, like the involvement of many conditions, and in fact, so this is what is called as also the causes and conditions. The things come into being purely as a result of many causes and conditions, and this is this is the grosser level of dependent origination. And then there is the middling level of dependent origination, which is the things depends upon its own parts, the wholeness and the part. And this is the middling dependent origination. And then there is the advanced level of dependent origination. The things are mere conceptual labeling or conceptual designation. So this is the highest dependent origination. But now let's forget about these two, medium and advanced level of dependent origination. Even at this, we don't really, although we know, things come into being purely as a result of many causes and conditions, but we don't gain much conviction. So even for example, some problem, I may face some problem, and then my immediate reaction is my ultimate, what I try to do is I try to find the solution. By picking out one cause. So what we do is we try to pick out one cause, and then based on that we try to find solution, and then this solution won't be that much realistic, because we are finding only a single solution for the so-called single cause. There is no single cause. There is no ever single cause which give rise to whatever all the things. although I'm actually unmarried. So now, for example, if he, in this one's own problem, and also in many of the problems, whether it be societal problems, or whether it be national problems, or whether it be international crisis, if we look closely, if we try to look closely, then we come to realize that all these are all this. So here, for example, dealing with the situation, dealing with the unpleasant situations. So we we may be very compassionate, and we may be also very kind enough. But here, when it comes to dealing with the situations, compassion, like the internal values like warm-heartedness, of course, very important. But when it comes to dealing with the situations, these things are very understanding of the involvement of the many conditions which give rise to unpleasant result becomes very important. Because for some some leaders, when there is a problem, when there is a crisis, although their motivation is very pure, they have very pure motivation, the motivation to solve the problems once and for all, the motivation to solve the problems of that specific region, of that particular nation. But then what happens is, they approach, they try to deal the situations from the one point angle. As a result, the problem continues to exist. The crisis continues to exist. So thinking from the the involvement of many factors. Even pleasurable experience at physical level, or whether it be at mental level. For example, we may enjoy some movie, or we may enjoy some good food. So we enjoy it. We enjoy some good food. Pleasant taste, and also we may enjoy good movie. So all these many conditions also involved. Many conditions involved, and so your hearing, your ear, your hearing, the sitting, the movie theater in the chair in the theater, and then and also the sound of the movie, all makes very pleasant. Your experience pleasurable. So now to understand these things, it's very important to think more deeply about these things. Otherwise, thinking just for few days won't be enough, because our mind very tend to believe in a small way. and those positive qualities of mind, we need the training. The training, positive qualities of the mind, they need training, and whereas those negative qualities of the mind, we hardly need any training, and they come automatically. They are rushing, and they are really, very acceptable. They accepted the things very easily. And in the positive qualities, without making constant effort, it won't come by naturally, and it won't be come in a spontaneous way. So thinking about this, the causes and conditions, the involvement of any given situation, any pleasant or unpleasant situations, all comes purely as a result of aggregation of many factors. And then we begin to train in this way. As we gradually gain some kind of a degree of conviction, then it begins to affect your heart. As soon as it begins to affect your heart, your whole perspective and your whole outlook changed. Otherwise, so these are positive qualities of mind. Positive qualities of the mind needs constant familiarity, and just making one or two effort won't easily change, because we have this the so-called confusion, the so-called of kind of a problematic and harmful emotions which we have been carrying on as a dear friend since many lifetimes. So it's very, one can tell it from one's own experience. We normally, when we are being praised, we are so happy, and when we are being, when one is being speaking badly of you, one get discouraged, one get upset, like these things. So why this is happening? So because we are more, even in the development of the good heart, even in the cultivation of the positive qualities of mind, even in 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it becomes very hard for oneself, to meditate or to visualize some positive qualities of the mind. Because why it becomes difficult for oneself? Because we are not get habituated with these things. And then when some traveling issues, very small issues happened, we easily get kind of upset, because we are get used to it. We are get used to getting upset. So this this experience simply shows that how much effort or perseverance is needed for the development of the positive qualities of the mind, and how harmful, how problematic emotions are really not good for one's health and leading a very peaceful life. So 5 minutes. Yeah. So many of the problems and based on some researchers and some great, based on one's own experience and many of the researchers, how can we develop positive qualities of the mind? Positive qualities of the mind. I also believe, those people right from the very childhood, right from the very childhood. When they lack, they receive a very, very, limited affection from mothers, They get really, and then they get, whole lot of problem during childhood, to receive the very limited experience of love and affection from the side of the mothers. And then as they grew up, they're difficult to face the they're difficult to, really face the difficulties. And then those, people who, right from the childhood, they receive the maximum love, affection, and the atmosphere, very harmonious atmosphere in the family. As they grew up, they, really, they become a wonderful person. And then those who lack compassion and those who lack positive qualities of the mind, and then when their problem faces, very, very difficult. Very difficult. So now if we see a lot of the troublemakers in this world, if we look to their biography, those people who really lack this kind of warm affection in their childhood. So in this very reason, Chandrakit is also, the scientific research also, showed this, the importance of, that's why in scientific research what they did is breastfeeding milk. The breastfeeding milk, the duplicate is not good for the child's, not good for child. So based on their, childhood, based on their, based on the harmonious atmosphere in their childhood, so they can build up the, the more positive qualities of the mind. Otherwise, difficult. So, but we talk about, the importance of love, the importance of kindness, the importance of all the positive qualities of mind. So how can we, the real question is, if these things really benefits, if these things, by cultivating or developing these positive qualities of mind, will it really, bring benefits? That is the ultimate question. That is the question. Because everybody wants happy life, does not want suffering. If everybody wants happy life, then what are the causes for having a happy life? If we were to say the development of the positive qualities of the mind are the causes for happy life, how? So this is the problem. So this is, we need to, gain conviction. So then some people say, really, love and compassion, all these, the patience, the tolerance are the, the issues of the religious, are the matter of religious. It has nothing to do with, leading a normal way of life, leading a happy way of life. It is the part of the religious culture. Some people used to say that. Now the question is, without touching religion, if we train in these qualities, how can we guarantee leading up, a peaceful way of life? And so this, one can tell it from one's own experience. Only the practitioner can tell, the practitioner who, or those who don't bother about this, about this, and who who don't take interest in this, and then we see those group of people who don't care much about the inner values, and then those people who take much care about the inner values. We compare these two. When in difficult situation, who experience more pain, who face more challenge, then we will see. Otherwise, so from the practitioner side, we can see, we cannot tell. Only the practitioner can say. And then some, one thing is strange thing. Some meditators, when they develop a love and compassion, in the forest, in the solitude, they hear the tigers and the lions, but they don't dare to come. The snake coming, but they don't dare to come to the practitioner. It is that, yeah. So this is the very power of love. Unless one, one practice it, one cannot taste. In order to taste the flavor of the orange, we have to, taste it. So after tasting it, then we can say this is the, bitter or, taste. So likewise, unless you experience it, you cannot tell this is sweet or this is sour or this is bitter. First you have to taste, then you can tell. So like these positive qualities of mind. Whereas in the negative qualities of the mind, we are already, very experienced, We already experienced, our own experience tell us it is bitter. So there is no need to take about this, no need to much experiment about the negative emotions. We all know it from our own experience. From when we get angry, our face get red, and then we are in ugly facial expressions. So this is all the result of the getting upset, angry, hatred. When when the negative emotions are expressed physically, then something goes wrong. So this is what we see and what we experience, what we see, what we hear. Whereas the positive qualities of the mind, only you experience it, then you can tell. So with this, finish. Okay. So with this, we have finished explaining verse.